Wondery Plus subscribers can listen to episodes of Cold Tapes early and ad-free right now. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
When you need mealtime inspiration, it's worth shopping Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals. And no matter what tasty choice you make, you'll enjoy our everyday low prices. Plus, extra ways to save, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump with points. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
¿Hablas español?
Sprichst du Deutsch?
Kan du norsk?
If you've heard that sound from Babbel before, I bet you do. Babbel is the science-backed language learning app that actually works. With quick 10-minute lessons handcrafted by over 200 language experts, Babbel gets you on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. With over 16 million subscriptions sold and a 20-day money-back guarantee, just start speaking another language with Babbel. Right now, up to 55% off your Babbel subscription at babbel.com/Spotify podcast. Spelled BABBEL.com/Spotify podcast. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Rated RP to M. You're listening to an ad for PC Game Pass. Want new games on day one like Avowed or Football Manager 25? Say nothing if you're getting excited. Thought so. Did I mention legendary franchises like Diablo? And all for one low monthly price? 3 words. We got you. Learn more at xbox.com/PC Game Pass. Some games reference coming soon. Game catalog varies by region and over time. Any questions? I'm just kidding. I can't hear you.
Burlington's Oh Wow Winter Clearance event is on right now. Throughout your store, you'll find tons of new markdowns just taken. Look for red clearance tags throughout the entire store for her, him, the kids, and your home. Score some serious savings at Burlington, up to 70% off other retailers' prices on clearance items. These deals on top of deals won't last long, so stop in today. Burlington. Deals, brands, wow. Prices and selections vary by location.
Tessa,
I'm here.
I have Mark here. He says he's through. His brain is not working.
Yeah, he's been signed off.
Yeah, I know that, but this is tricky.
I can't do this.
Jasleen has approved it.
She knows I can't do this.
Listen, Mark.
You can leave the room, Johan. Mark understands he's been signed off.
Jack.
Mark? Mark, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Johan, you can go. I'll take it from here, yeah?
Okay, Tessa, I'm leaving.
How you doing there, Mark?
Sorry.
I'm asking how you doing.
Not good.
Yeah?
It's just my head is it's the stuff they've got me on. My head feels fucked.
Mm-hmm. Just to let you know, though, Dr. Batra has signed you off and said you are fit for an interview, so...
She's the one that's fucking feeding me the stuff.
I've got a copy of that letter. I'm actually looking at it on my computer right now. I think Johan's placed a copy on the table in front of you if you want to have a wee look at it.
Seriously, I'm really not feeling good.
If you need to take a break at any moment, you just say, yeah, Mark? There should be some water next to you. Take a sip, take a breath, have a wee think. Now, in a sec, DS Balsara, who's alongside me here in London, is going to read you out the caution, and I'm going to really need you to listen to this, Mark, okay?
Okay, I'll do my best.
Appreciate that. Okay, I'm going to urge you to pay attention to the following, yeah? Because it's about your rights. You understanding me there, Mark?
Sure.
Okay, so look, you'll be aware I've been conducting interviews with everyone, including yourself, to give me an insight into the base's workings and to the events on the night that Dr. Fairfield died.
Yeah.
True Fairfield. Since completing these interviews, DS Balsar and I have been going through them in great detail, and we have identified a number of inconsistencies. So, due to these inconsistencies, there is a need to re-interview you and a number of others on the base. And I can also disclose to you now that I am treating the death of Dr. Fairfield as murder, and therefore this interview will be conducted under caution to ensure you are fully aware of your rights. Now, before DS Balsara explains the caution to you, you need to know that you're not under arrest and you can end this call at any time. You're entitled to free legal advice both prior to and during this interview, and Keone has a lawyer who can act on your behalf if you wish. You can also use a lawyer of your choice, or if none of these are suitable, I can obtain a legal advisor from a list of independent lawyers here in the UK who offer their services. Do you wish to have a lawyer present or to speak to anyone before we start this interview? Do you want to seek legal advice, Mark?
Look, listen, I want to help, okay? I really want to be helpful, but this has nothing to do with me, okay? I've been locked up for I don't know how long. Okay, all right. No, I don't need anybody.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Well, this is an ongoing right, Mark, so if you change your mind, you just need to say so, okay? Right, I'm going to hand it over to DS Balsara for a bit.
Hello, Mark. I'm DS Naveen Balsara. The police caution is that you do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defense if you do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Now, this is the caution we use in England, which is the agreed legal jurisdiction to be followed during this investigation. And the caution means that you do not have to say anything to any question that myself or DCI McAllister ask you. But should you decide to remain silent, and then, if you're charged and this matter goes to trial, you then give an account which you did not give in this interview, then the court can make an inference from your silence. And they can essentially ask why you didn't say that during the interview.
Hi, Mark. It's Tessa again. Now, look, that may all sound very official, but like I said, these rights are there to protect you, yeah? And to make sure you're aware of what's going on.
This is like a fucking kangaroo court or something.
Well, it seems to me you do know a wee bit about what's going on, so I'm going to push on. And I need to ask you about these inconsistencies that we've identified. This isn't a court. It's certainly not a kangaroo court. I've got an open mind about whether these are innocent mistakes or whether someone's actually tried to deceive me. And look, whilst I have matters I need to cover, this is a two-way conversation, and I want you to know you can bring up anything you think is relevant. Do you understand that? Mark, do you understand that?
Yeah, I understand, except I don't think I should be here.
Okay, passing you back to DS Balsara.
Can you confirm your name for me, please?
Mark Rennick.
And is anyone else present with you at this time?
No.
Thanks. For the recording, the time is 9:20 GMT on the 27th of June, 2023.
How long have you been confined to your room, Mark?
Don't know exactly. A long time.
Weeks, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Have you been out at all?
No.
But they changed your room over recently, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. It was something to do with the heating.
Okay, yeah. Mark, when was the last time you took your medication?
Last night, with my dinner.
Do you always have it with your dinner?
Yes, yeah, and breakfast. Yeah, it makes me really tired.
Have you had your medication today? Mark?
Not yet. They brought me the pills with my food, but I've had to do this, so.
Look, I'm going to cut to the chase here, Mark. I know full well you've not been taking your medication for some time now. Johan and Jasleen searched your previous room. They found medication that you've been hiding and clearly not been taking. Mark?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Yeah, you can cut the bullshit with me right now, Mark. What do you have to say?
I think this is a stitch up.
Well, can I ask you to remember what DS Balsara just said to you? If you lie, Mark, and we catch you out, we can use that against you. So it really is better for you to tell us the truth. In fact, I'd say it's essential, Mark. Because we know a lot, already.
I'd like to speak to a solicitor.
Okay, we can do that.
I'm not going to say anything else until I have a lawyer.
Okay, we're stopping the recording at 9:24 GMT.
Okay, if we can do a name check and location, I'll start. I'm DCI McAllister in London. I have DS Balsara on the call beside me.
Hello.
Mark, are you there?
I'm Ronan Merchant, representing Mark Rennick on the phone in London.
Okay, for the recording, the time is 11:47 GMT on the 27th of June 2023. Mark, I'm reminding you that you are still under caution. Do you understand?
Yes.
Have you had time to speak with your client, Mr. Merchant?
I have. And given the gravity of the crime and the impractical long-distance situation we find ourselves in, I'd suggest this interview is postponed.
I'm afraid because of the gravity of the crime, we can't do that.
Well, it's nigh on impossible for my client to have proper counsel.
You'll appreciate that conducting interviews in good time whilst memories are fresh is of the utmost importance to us. If your client has got something important to tell us, we need to hear it now, yeah?
Well, he's been heavily sedated for the last few weeks. I'd hardly call his memories fresh.
Yeah, he's been signed off by a medic.
Well, a local base medic is not a police doctor.
Okay, noted. So, Mark, a large stash of sedatives has been found in your room. You haven't actually been taking your medication for some time now, have you? I mean, your blood test came back clean, totally drug-free. So I'm going to repeat what I said earlier, okay? You can choose to keep lying to us. You can absolutely choose to say nothing at all, but we have evidence to the contrary. We have other people's accounts to the contrary. Mark, we know that you've been acting disorientated. We know that you've been lying to your colleagues, to us. And we know that, as Dr. Fairfield very well suspected, you're not suffering from winter over syndrome at all, are you? We know that the breakdown in the games room, the pool cue, the whole drama of the event, it was all an act. Wasn't it, Mark?
Mark, I must remind you of my advice, which is to say no comment to all questions at this time.
Okay. How about you tell me about your financial situation, Mark?
No comment.
Mm-hmm. All right then, well, I'll tell you what else we know, shall I? See, we've had a specialist financial investigator conduct a detailed inquiry into your financial affairs. And we know how heavily in debt you are, Mark. We know about the maxed out credit cards. We know about your bad investments. We know that you owe money to all sorts of people. We know that you're close to bankruptcy. Isn't that correct?
No comment.
I also know that you stood to get financial compensation from Keone Industries for having winter over syndrome. It's a fair bit of money, isn't it, Mark? Well, it's even more money if you're incarcerated. And it's the base's protocol, I believe, during winter to be sedated and incarcerated after a violent outburst. I mean, I don't know why I'm telling you this, because you know all that, right?
No comment.
I mean, given how many winters you've done, you knew the T's and C's. You knew they'd lock you up, yeah? You knew they'd want to sedate you. I'm sure you're fully aware of the compensation owed to you, are you not, Mark?
No comment.
How long have you been planning this for?
No comment.
Okay, here's the thing. There are some consequences I think you need to be aware of here. Mark, we're saying that you're lying about your symptoms and about being sedated. We know that you staged the whole thing and we can prove it. The clean bloods, the stash of drugs. Ugh, it's obvious, Mark. Can you see where I'm going with this? Let me spell it out for you. This means that there is no compensation waiting for you on the other side. Nothing, next, yeah? No claim. No pot of gold. In fact, what you've done here is fraudulent. Right now, Keone is actually building a case against you for fraud, for damages, for destabilising a very expensive winter at Bowers Wilson.
My client's not here on charges of fraud.
Yeah, he's committed it though, so... And we suspect him of a lot more than that right now. Mark, We know you lied throughout your first statement to the police. You going to tell us the truth now?
No comment.
If you know something, Mark, if you can help us find out what actually happened to Drew, it could help you in the long run. But right now, I have to say, it's not looking good for you at all. And I think you know that. Here, let me help you. Was it an accident? Did something maybe go wrong? Horribly wrong? Or listen, if it was someone else, you have got to tell us, Mark. We can help you, but if you sit there saying nothing, it's all going to be on you. Do you understand? Drew knew you weren't suffering from Winter-Over syndrome. He knew there was something up. Mark, we've got his diaries, for God's sake. He clearly states that he knew that it wasn't Winter-Over syndrome. Were you scared he was going to rumble you, is that it?
Just say no comment, Mark.
Were you terrified he was going to scupper your plans? Because we've looked into it, Mark. You stood to lose $175,000. That's a lot of money, right? That's enough to settle your debts, have a wee bit extra for yourself. But Drew was onto you, wasn't he? And you knew if you rumbled, you had a fair chance of ending up behind bars.
I'm Colin Sutton. I was a senior investigating officer in the Metropolitan Police for more than 9 years. I worked on dozens of murder investigations, including some of the most complex, serious and shocking crimes of our generation. These crimes are just so far beyond the comprehension of normal people that they are truly shocking. This is the makings of a Murderer 2, The Real Manhunter, touring nationwide now.
This is the makings of a Murderer 2, The Real Manhunter, touring UK theatres now. Register now at coldtapes.com for a £5 off promo code for selected dates, exclusively for Cold Tapes listeners.
Mark? Can you see how we're building a really credible motive here? Come on. You must be a smart guy getting a job out there. It's competitive, right? So tell me, Mark, how would all this information look to you? Put yourself in my shoes. Would you think, this person has a motive to kill Drew? Would you? Would you think this man has the means and the time to kill Drew? Would you think, this guy's not talking to us, so that means he must have killed Drew, because surely if he was innocent, he'd be shouting the house down, right? But you're not doing that, are you, Mark?
All right, thank you, Detective. My client will not be answering any more questions today.
Listen. This could be your last chance to tell me what happened, Mark. I am urging you not to let it pass you by. Do you understand? Okay, Mark. Look, I was hoping not to have to do this, but can you see there's an envelope on the table there that Johan left you?
What is this, Detective?
Mark, can you see it?
Yeah.
Can you open the envelope, please, Mark?
Detective?
For the recording, we're showing Mark Rennick a printed copy of a photograph taken by Johan Gunnarsson during Dr. Fairfield's post-mortem.
Oh, come on. Mark, you don't need to look at that. Put it away.
Mark, can you see the way Drew's head's been caved in? Those are blunt force injuries that could have only been caused by severe force.
Detective, enough.
You caused those injuries, didn't you, Mark? You killed Drew.
No. No comment.
Detective, I'd like a moment with my client.
He came to you that night, didn't he, Mark? Maria had given him access to the key. He told you he knew you were faking it and that he was going to expose you as a fraud, and you killed him, yeah? You took him out there and you dumped him in that crevasse. You dumped him there hoping nobody would find him, but it went wrong, didn't it, Mark? It went horribly wrong.
Mark, I want us to end the call now. Detective, stop the interview.
Before I do, you should know, Mark, that we found blood in Sienna's coat. Was that part of your plan? To wear it in order to implicate her? Well, you should also know that we have it bagged as evidence, and we'll be testing it the first chance we get. See, all that exertion of moving the body, there's going to be sweat, hairs, skin cells. We can use all of that to match it to whomever it was that moved Drew's body. We're going to find your DNA, aren't we, Mark? Because it's all you, isn't it? Drew's murder is all on you.
I need to speak to my lawyer. Can you stop recording, please?
Okay, stopping the recording time is now 11:57 GMT on the 27th of June 2023. Resuming police interview with Mark Rennick. The time is now 13:34 GMT on the 27th of June 2023. Mark, I'm reminding you once again that you are still under caution.
So listen, we ended the last interview so that you could speak to your legal advisor. Are you ready to talk to me now? Look, Mark. It must have been difficult. In fact, it must have been hellish locked up in that room not talking to anybody. All that in your head. That must have been hard. Your cooperation here could help you. Yeah? It could be seen in a positive light, raised as a mitigation to any charges against you. Your solicitor should have told you all this. I want you to consider this really carefully, Mark. Come on. Mark, you've been through hell. Why don't you get this off your shoulders? Talk to me, Mark.
He wasn't meant to be found. I forgot the GPS tracker in his codes. I wasn't meant to be. I wasn't thinking, and there was so much blood. Yeah. And the sedatives they gave me, I don't think my brain ever went back to normal, even after I stopped taking them. I don't know whether it was like the withdrawal or the stress or what, but I was having these headaches and I just wasn't thinking.
But you hoped he'd stay missing, right?
Yeah. And if he was found, it was supposed to look like an accident. I didn't kill him. I didn't kill him.
Okay. I understand. You didn't kill him. So talk me through what happened. Step by step, Mark. I need to know.
He was already dead. And I just helped cover it up. That was the plan. I was just to move the body. And it was meant to look like he'd just gone out to calm down and that he was stressed, you know. So maybe he'd started walking and gone too far and he wasn't meant to have had his top coat on, which I forgot. It's just fucking spiraled. It's just meant to look like he got lost. And that, you know, the cold can make you do stupid things. And the weather was getting worse, and the winter coming up, and his body would have just been covered and maybe not even found. But then it was went to shit.
Remember what we said, Mark. Keep it simple.
Listen, it wasn't my plan. This wasn't my fucking plan. Okay, they lied. It wasn't meant to be like this. They said they were going to hit Drew just once, hard, and it would be like it hit his head falling. But then they said he saw what was coming, and he pulled back, and it was just a fucking horrible mess. And they hit Drew over and over and over. And when I went in and I saw his body, I just didn't want to help anymore. I just wanted to go back to my room. But they threatened me. And they said they'd expose me for lying about the breakdown and pin the whole fucking thing on me. And so that the whole thing was me. I just trust the wrong fucking people. I just don't know what it is with me. Like, it's my fucking brain's wired badly. Like, I'm not a fucking idiot. There would pin the whole thing on me. So this whole thing was me. Just always trust the wrong people. I don't know what it is with me. It's like my brain's wired badly. Like, I'm not a fucking idiot. I just believe in the good of people, And I put everything I had into this investment funds, like my military pension, like fucking everything, and I lost it all overnight. And the broker just disappeared. Every woman I've ever dated has thrown me over. Just trust the wrong people.
Are you okay, Mark? Do you want to stop? Detectives, can we take a break?
Who did you trust, Mark? Mark? Who was it you trusted? Did you trust Maria?
No. Why are you even bringing her into this?
Mark Drew hurt her badly, didn't he? She thought she could trust him, but he humiliated her in front of everybody. Made a commitment to her, then betrayed her.
No, she loved him. And it's absolutely broken her that he's gone. So, no, she's like just a fucking nice person, and I won't have you put her through any of this.
Yeah, well, that's not your choice, Mark. It's not up to you. If she did this, then you need to tell me.
I am fucking telling you, she didn't have anything to do with this. And I can fucking prove it.
Then who was it, Mark? How can you prove it? You can tell me. Mark, you need to tell me. If it wasn't you, then who was it? Who killed Drew?